Hello everyone, I'm Vinnie and today I'm going to talk to you about the Fire Custom Shop Carpe Diem pedal. So I'm Brazilian, so I've known about fire effects for a while now, but I hadn't heard about this pedal until the guys from that pedal show started using it. So I thought it sounded really good, and I'm always, even though I play with mostly amp distortion, I'm always after that pedal that could replace your amp sound when you can't drive to a gig, can't take your amp and that kind of stuff. So I was back home in Brazil for Christmas a couple of months ago, so I decided to buy one of these and try it out. And I have to say, so far, from the pedals I've tried, this is the one that's doing that job better for my sound so far. By the way, the song you heard in the intro is pretty much all the pedal. It's the Carpe Diem plugged into the clean channel of my Marshall SL5. And I used the classic channel for the rhythm sounds and the hot rod channel with the lead engaged for the solo sound. So there's a few demos of this pedal on YouTube and they all sound really good, but none of them seem to explain exactly how the pedal works. Because this pedal has quite a set of unique features and it works in a bit of a weird way compared to most pedals out there. So that's what I'm going to try and do today, is explain exactly how the pedal works, and at the end of the video I'm going to obviously play a bit and tweak the pedal so you can hear all the sounds it can make. So what makes this pedal quite unique to me is actually, funny enough, these two knobs here, treble and bass controls. Okay, they work quite differently on this pedal than in pretty much any other pedal that I've seen out there. So they obviously they control bass and treble, but they do that at the same time as they control the gain structure in the pedal as well. So the pedal will give you a sort of a fixed amount of gain. Okay, so you haven't got gain knobs, so you can't just increase or decrease the gain. But when you increase or decrease the bass and treble, it will change the gain according to those frequencies. Okay, so that's quite cool. So these knobs work pre-saturation, so it's only natural that when you allow those frequencies to go through, they will reach the gain stage in the pedal and saturate more. So I find that the sound is pretty much 80% ready most of the time. Okay, because once you find how much treble and bass that you want in the sound, you will pretty much have a good amount of gain coming from it. And if you set the gain using these two knobs as well, you will find that normally the treble and the bass will be balanced, because the bass knob will give a body to the sound and also increase the gain within the bass frequencies, like I said. And the treble knob will give the sound definition and also increase the gain according to the high frequencies. So that is a really cool, interesting way of setting your sound, really. I feel like I should explain something before I continue. So this pedal is supposed to emulate a plexi kind of sound. It's a Marshall type pedal. And when you think about a plexi amp, a plexi Marshall amp, so the amp always has two channels, right? A bright and a darker channel. You can plug your guitar into any of this and then get a bright or a treblier sound. But what most people do is just blend the channels together so you can blend them within your sound, right? So they dime the channels within the amp so you can use both channels at the same time. So when you increase the volume on the treble channel in a plexi, for instance, you are going to get obviously a treblier sound, but you're also going to have more gain coming out from the amp within those frequencies, because the valves will saturate more, so you're cranking the amp more, so you have to get more gain. And it's the same when you increase the volume on the bass channel. The sound will get bassier, but the gain will also increase because the amp is more cranked. So that is pretty much what this pedal is trying to do. It's trying to emulate that relationship between the two channels in the plexi. So I think that's really cool. I don't know any other pedals that do this, and I think it's a very intuitive way of setting up your sound. So the pedal has two channels. It has the classic and the hot rod channel. Obviously I'll play a bit more later so you can hear them. But the classic channel, what it does mainly is just to add a very light breakup to your sound. It fattens everything up, and it just gives you like really the feel of a really loud cranked Marshall amp. So for example, if you have the bass and treble knobs at 12, like flat really, it'll just really fatten everything up. Once you start pushing the treble, for instance, it'll start being a bit more gainy, but still it's not a very gainy channel. I really find that there's no harm having this channel on all the time really, because it just does good things to your sound. Now the hot rod channel kind of emulates a hot rodded plexi really, so there's a lot more gain to it. So straight away it works the same as the classic, as in like the gain is sort of fixed and you can control it with these two knobs, but it has a lot more gain straight away. And it's the same really, once you start increasing the treble and the bass, you start shaping your sound and the gain will change as well, will either increase or decrease accordingly. Now the master and presence knobs, they do exactly what they're supposed to. Master volume on the amp, I find that unity gain is roughly around 12 for the classic channel, and a bit less for the hot rod channel. And presence controls the high frequencies after saturation, so this is perfect to just adjust to different amps and guitars. I've tried this pedal in Marshall amps, Vox and Orange amps, and I find that the presence knob really is quite useful, so you can adjust even to Telecasters and Les Pauls, for example. It's quite a handy knob here. Now the other thing that's quite unusual in this pedal, and I think it makes it quite unique, is the way that the lead boost works. So the lead boost works for both channels the same way. Whether you're on classic or on hot rod, it will do the same thing, which is basically add compression, volume and gain to your sound. So do you know how normally when a pedal has a boost in it, it either goes into the front of the pedal, which in that case you get just more gain but no volume, or if it goes after the pedal, the main circuit of the pedal I mean, you're gonna get pretty much a volume boost but no added gain. So this boost here does everything. It basically adds a bit of volume, a bit of gain and a bit of compression, so you get more sustain. So this boost here, it really is perfect for lead play, but you can also use it on all the time if you want to get more gain. For example, in the classic channel, I find that when you have the boost on all the time, you get just a bit more edgier kind of type sound, and it sounds really good all the time as well. So yeah, the only thing is that you can't use the boost independently though. The pedal needs to be on, but you can have the boost on all the time, and then when you switch the pedal on, the boost is already on. So yeah. Alright guys, so that's it really. That is pretty much the way the pedal works. I think it's a very intuitive way of setting up your tone, and I really find that most of the time the sound is just ready for you. You know, you don't have to do much at all. You just set the bass and treble a little bit, adjust the presence according to the amp or the guitar that you're using, and that's it really. One thing I didn't mention is that the master volume is also quite good to push in the front end of a good valve amp. So say if you're using like a cleanish kind of amp, and you switch on the classic channel for instance, you can always make the master a bit louder, and that will push the amp into even more compression, like nice valve compression, so that will make the pedal sound even better. So now I'm just gonna do a loop and tweak the pedal a little bit for you guys, so you can listen to what it does and all different sounds it can do. And that's it really. Let's do it. Alright guys, that's it from me. I hope you liked the video. If it helped you in any way, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Also, let me know what you thought of the sound of the pedal in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you very soon.